Do you ever feel like giving up? Do you have days where you've given 100% effort only to receive a participation award? Hey moms, so welcome back to the channel. This is the Momtrepreneur Life Coffee Chat, and if you're new to the channel, this is just a relaxed conversation where we pull back the curtain on what it means to be a work from home mom and a homeschool mom. So I am Jody the mom from lifeunboxed.blog, and I'm a homeschool mom of 6. And their ages are 2 to 16 right now, but we're about to have birthdays coming up, so all that will change. But I wanted to talk to you today about wanting to give up. And I want to talk to you about it because it's kind of like where I've been the past week or so. And, and then this morning, I got a couple of emails, like they weren't like terrible, but it was one of those things like, yay, you get a participation award. And it's like, okay, I've put in 100%, I've given all of my effort, and I'm getting a participation award. I'm getting the consolation prize. And it's never a good feeling. And that can come whether you are trying to build a business or even homeschooling. So these feelings of it's not working, I want to give up, or all of those associated feelings can happen. So like I have successfully been running my virtual assistant business for over 7 years now. So I have built a business that really supports my homeschooling efforts and all of that stuff. But at the same time, I'm also trying to build a business that does not rely on clients, which is the blog, and being a digital content creator and all of that. Now that is, and I think because my virtual assistant business took off within like 2.5 months, I needed it to. So it was like to avoid the panic because we got laid off, and you can read more about that on my blog because I got laid off. So it had to take off that fast. And it was also a different type of business and the different network that I had going for that. And so now building something totally from scratch. I don't have this big digital footprint, barely on social media. At this point, I despise Instagram. So all of these things, I'm literally building this from scratch. So, and I'm also recording this during the day, so you hear my kids in the background. Anyway, so I am building this from scratch, and it's really hard. I did all the research, I put in all of the effort. Okay, so I'm back. Usually these chats are totally unedited and unscripted, but I needed to go calm the baby or get one of my kids to calm the baby. So we had to pause, but I'm back. Anyway, so putting in all the effort, I did all the research. Like I kind of like research. So I did a ton of research so that I can cut down on this 3-year time frame that most bloggers will give you. So if you read any kind of blogging book or take any kind of classes, they usually say it takes 3 years for a blog to start being successful. There's a book that I read called The Long Game by Dory Clark, and she kind of gave the same time frame for even a business, like 2 to 3 years to start seeing movement, and then 5 years before you see a significant income. So I did all the research to hopefully cut down on that time frame, and so far it has not been successful. So it is really hard as you kind of go through the day-to-day stuff and you're not seeing the movement or the traction you're hoping for. And again, what you get in return is the consolation prize for 100% of your efforts. So I don't know where this is going to take me, but I feel like we need to, this is a momtrepreneur life coffee chat, and so we need to chat about these things because these are feelings that we are having when it comes to building our businesses or even homeschooling. Do you know how many times I have gone through, like, I just, my day would be so much easier if I put the kids back in school. And I know all of those, I'm speaking evil right now. But it would be so much easier to put the kids back in school. Do you know how many vacations we could pay for if the kids were in school and I wasn't paying for a curriculum? Or you just feel like you're a failure as your teacher. They're not getting it. And then suddenly they do. And it's usually with the younger kids because I think we find, at least I find, the more critical skills of laying the proper foundation for reading and math, they happen when they're in kindergarten, first grade, second grade. And these are the skills that will affect them for the rest of their school career, for the rest of their lives. And you want to make sure you're doing it well. And so there's times when it's just like, I'm not doing this. I can't do this anymore. I just want to give up. And then suddenly you have a little peak of light. And it's like, wow, they did it. They actually got it for the first time after how many times you feel like you're banging your head against the wall. They actually got it. So you do have those moments, but we also have a lot of moments where you just feel like you want to throw in the towel. So what do we do when we have those moments, whether it's for business or homeschool? You need to have a cheerleader. So whether that's me sitting here on this video right now telling you, keep going, don't give up. I will say, I don't believe that you should never give up. This is not my first blog that I have created. I did another blog when I first started my virtual assistant business as a way to kind of generate content creation and get it out there, that what I was doing. And I did that for about a year to a year and a half, and then I stopped it. And I am very happy with that conclusion. It got to the point where I think it did need to be stopped. And so there are times when you just need to give up. I don't think I am there at this point with this blog. I do think I have to give it the 3 years. Now, that is distressing to me because I don't have all this time. There's other ways that I could spend my time, but at the same time, I do want to build something that is mine, that is not dependent on clients, is just dependent on me and creating content and writing a book and doing this YouTube channel and creating merchandise and all of these things. I want to build that. So it does take time. So at this point, I don't think I'm at the point of giving up, but sometimes you do need to give up and reassess and reevaluate, and only you can figure that out. Okay, so if we're not at the point of giving up, how do you keep going? First, you need a cheerleader. So like I was saying, whether that's me on this video telling you don't give up yet, or for me, it's my husband who's constantly telling me not to give up. You need someone who is going to keep pushing you to do it, to keep pushing you just to that next step a little bit further. And you can throw those consolation prizes away. Just move on from them. Okay. And then second, you also need to give yourself a time frame. Because like I said, there should be, not everything is meant to be continued. So what is your time frame? For me, it is the advice from other bloggers and other creators of being like 2 to 3 years. So I'm going to put in that time. And even like I said, in The Long Game by Dory Clark, she was saying that sometimes you need to change your strategy to just outlast the competition. Like if there's a 5-year plan for your competitor's business, then maybe your plan needs to be 7 years. I do not have 7 years to invest. Like, to me, I think that's too much, because I do have young kids and it does take a lot of work. Anyway, so you need to have a time frame. At what point, either a time frame or not even just a time frame, but even a budget. At what point are you going to say that you can no longer invest your time or money? So what does that look like for you? I can't give you a specific, like I said, I can give you my general idea, but you have to figure that out for yourself. Like, I do invest a lot of time. I don't necessarily invest a lot of money. I have, just to get equipment to make a YouTube video, but overall, it's not like I'm needing to continue to pay for everything, because the website, because I do websites for other people. So that's actually part of my virtual assistant business. So I'm only paying for the domain and not the hosting. The hosting comes from, it's part of the other business. So I would have that whether I did this website or not, or podcast. Don't want to forget the podcast. I do have to pay for the podcast. That is my podcast distribution. So get yourself a cheerleader to encourage you to continue, and then set a deadline for yourself. At what point are you going to consider this to be a success, or that it's time to give up? And it's okay to give up. I think that's the thing that we need to also embrace. Like, it is okay to give up if you're not seeing the return that you were on your time and investment. It's okay to reevaluate and to maybe shift. It's okay to do that. So on that note, I have good news. So I'm going to share with you some good news. I have created a history timeline notebook, and I'm really excited about this. So this was actually, this is the back cover too. And it actually has like words inside and all that. So here we go. But this was actually a book that I had created for my own kids a couple years ago for their homeschool classes. And so I decided, I'm like, wait a minute, this is already created. I did it. Let me just go ahead and make it into an Amazon KDP print book, and then I can sell it. But you can also, I do have the copy that you can print at home. And then I took mine, because I did make it and print it. So I took all of theirs to one of our local office supply stores and got it spiral bound. So you have two options to either print at home, or you can buy it from Amazon, totally done for you. And sometimes we just need totally done for you. So I wanted to share that with you, and the link will be in the description below. And also, Mother's Day is coming up, so we have some mom journals for you. And so I wanted to show these to you. So this is the spring one with our cherry blossom design, memorable musings. These are all dot grid journals. One of my favorite, Super Mom. Keep calm, mom on. And this is one of my favorite shirts I have. And then also Mom Boss, ridiculously good ideas. So these are all dot grid journals. You can kind of sort of see, yeah, a little bit. So these are all dot grid journals, and you can purchase them from Amazon. So if you have Prime, you can guarantee to get them quickly. So that is a wrap for this Momtrepreneur Life coffee chat. Remember to check out lifeunboxed.blog. You can follow Life Unboxed on social media, and you can also support the show with coffee. And that is, go to Ko-fi, and that's ko-fi.com/lifeunboxedblog. And you don't even have to make an account. It is not a subscription like Patreon, which I prefer. So if you just want to hop on over and buy a coffee and with no commitment, that would be awesome. So I will see you in the next Momtrepreneur Life coffee chat.